Thomas and the Dream. One day, Thomas was pushing trucks around the yard. He then went and pushed them into their proper sidings. His driver uncoupled him, then he went to the water tower. "Ah, that's better," said Thomas. While Thomas was filling up on water, the Fat Controller came to see him. "Ah, hello Thomas. Good to see you're filling up on water. You've done some very good work today. I'm very pleased with you. You are a very useful engine." "Thank you, sir. That's a good engine. Now you best get going. It'll be dark soon." So Thomas reversed and left the goods yard. Thomas trundled happily down the main line. But before he knew it, darkness fell. "Damn, it got dark quick," thought Thomas. Then thunder and lightning started to form. "I must find a shed soon," said Thomas, and he trundled along. Thomas's driver looked up at the sky as they went along. Above him he could see storm clouds forming overhead. "Come on, Thomas," said his driver. "We need to find shelter soon, or we'll be caught in a storm." Continuing on, Thomas rounded a bend. "Hope we find shelter soon," he said. The storm continued to get worse as Thomas trundled along. "Thomas, look!" his driver called out. There in the distance they could see 3 run-down sheds. "We can shelter in those until the storm has passed," his driver said. Thomas backed into the best-looking shed. "Well, good night, Thomas," said his driver. "See you in the morning." His driver went to sleep in the cab. Thomas tried to get to sleep, so he decided to think of all the happy things that had been in his past life. He thought of all the times that he had annoyed the hell out of Gordon and derailed him off the track. The happy thoughts of this sent him happily to sleep. When Thomas awoke, he was in his favourite siding in the yard. "Where am I?" he thought. Then a loud voice boomed, "Thomas, get over here!" Thomas rushed forward. "Wait, no! Thomas, stop! Sorry, sir." "Thomas, get off me, now!" "Well, now that all my various injuries have been cured, Thomas, I need you to help Duck and Percy triple-head a train down at the station." "Did you just say triple-head?" "Yes, Thomas, I did." "Sweet zombie Jesus!" Thomas headed to the station. Thomas thought, "This is pretty similar to that time I had to triple-head a train with Duck and Percy in that Christopher Audrey story." It was pandemonium down at the station. 3 workmen were trying to calm an angry group of passengers. Gordon had tried to pull the train, but it was too heavy for him, so he broke down. The workmen were also trying to pacify a very annoyed Muslim. "Please, sir, the train will come soon." "I'll kill you! I'll kill you!" Meanwhile, Duck was waiting in front of the coaches, hoping for another engine to come and help him pull. "I hope someone comes soon," he thought. Meanwhile, Gordon, who had broken down trying to pull the heavy train, was being pushed into a siding by Percy. "Jesus, Gordon, have you gained weight?" "No." Maybe." Then Thomas came into the station. "Thomas, thank God you're here," said Duck. "Now help me and Percy pull this train." After calming the Muslim man, the workmen got the passengers into the coaches. Eventually, the train was ready, and Thomas steamed out of the station with Duck behind him pulling the coaches. Percy was pushing up behind, so he could help them up Gordon's Hill. The train proved to be very heavy. "Come on, we can do it," the engines chuffed together. The engines struggled up the main line as they tried to pull the heavy coaches. Come on," said Thomas. We're doing it," said Duck. I know we are," said Percy. Eventually, the engines came to Gordon's Hill. The hill was very steep as it climbed an incline, and at the top there was a very sharp corner. The engines knew they would have to work very hard to climb it. The engines powered up the main line. Then they got to Gordon's Hill. "Come on, Duck," said Thomas. "We can make it." "I know we can, Thomas, but Christ, this express train is heavy." "Yes, I know, just keep going." Percy was pushing at the back and wasn't exactly having the time of his life. The coaches were very heavy, and Thomas and Duck's weight made it even harder. Must keep pushing, he thought to himself. Suddenly, Thomas didn't really notice it. Strange, it's gotten easier. But Percy knew something was wrong. Now the coach's whole weight was being pushed against him without Thomas and Duck to help him. "I must get up the hill," said Percy. "Come on, you dumb coaches." "We are not dumb," said the coaches. "We have an intelligence that greatly—" "Shut the hell up and move!" shouted Percy. Right then," said the coach. Percy struggled bravely up the hill. "Come on. I need to get to the top." The coaches engaged them in conversation. "Do you think our livery looks good? I've told Jimmy here we must change it." "I think it looks alright," said Percy. "Not to be one to brag, but I am the one pushing. It's not as easy as it looks." Seems so," says the coach. "Do you like being green? You ever wanted being red?" "Jesus Christ, I'd be like a midget version of James," said Percy. Eventually, Percy got the coaches to the top of the hill. "I'm nearly there," said Percy. "I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. I am there!" And the coaches rested on the top of the hill. Then, Percy's coupling snapped. What? Ah, what's happening? Thomas heard the explosion. What was that? He thought. Coaches at the top of the hill loomed down and started to roll towards Thomas. "Oh my God!" shouted Thomas. Thomas moved as fast as his wheels would carry him. The coaches, moving on momentum, barreled after him. "Run away! Run away!" cries Thomas. "What the hell?" "What?" Thomas moved fast down the line. Then he had a spot of good luck. Coming up on his line, he saw a junction that had a set of points going the opposite way. Thomas had a brainwave. "Kick-ass!" he thought. "I can go up to the junction and reverse into the other siding, and the coaches will go straight past me. It's perfect, I tell you!" But then it went all horribly wrong. Coming up on one side of the junction, James was shunting a milk tanker, while on the other side, Big City Engine was shunting a freight car. The two engines had collided and were blocking the junction on both sides. This was bad news for Thomas. "Oh God! Oh God!" The coaches then came racing down the line behind them. "Oh God, I wanted to die choking on food!" shouted Thomas. "Oh God, what happened?" Thomas looked around him. He was in the shed that his driver had driven him into last night. The storm had stopped and his driver was snoring in his cab. "Oh, it was just a dream. Me, Duck and Percy triple-hitting the train was just a dream. The express train nearly killing me was just a dream. It was all just a dream. Thank God. And I bet that flaming tar tanker over there is just a dream as well." "Wait a minute! Flaming tar tanker? Oh my God!" Next day, James was taking a scenic train. Coming forward, he stopped suddenly. "What in God's name happened here?" he said. "Oh, James, thank God you're here. I've been stuck here for ages. You have to go and get help." Yeah, about that. I'm gonna go now." "I hope you die, you minimum wage son of a whore!"